Warning: Me Time and Murder is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Oh, for God's sake, here
Dancing
it goes.
around him, reciting poetry. Yes.
Oh my God! That's crazy.
No. Why? Oh, well, big surprise.
Oh God. Dead on the bathroom floor.
Did it? Okay. Oh.
Trez, what are you drinking today?
Today I'm drinking a Pucka 3 cinnamon. Oh, I said that really weird. Cinnamon.
Cinnamon?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon?
It should be cinnamon because there's an O and M staring at the word here now, and I'm
Cinnamon.
like, have I been saying this wrong forever?
I think everybody says cinnamon.
It's organic Indian, Indonesian, and Vietnamese cinnamon. So a real blend going on there.
Uh-huh.
What about you, Miriam? What are you having to drink
I
today?
am drinking... I don't know if you've seen, I put up on the Instagram, I went to this local, it's very popular, local tea place in Hong Kong. I put it up on the Me Time and Murder Instagram.
Oh,
yeah.
I actually haven't looked at that yet. It's quite
We're
early
not
over
following
here.
our own stories.
I know, it's quite early. I don't look at it. You know, those people look at their phone like straight away when they wake up. Yeah, that's not me. I look at social media like well into like late afternoon, evening. Oh my goodness. That looks so cool. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's over.
It's like a bar.
Yeah, it has that vibe. So it's
called, It's like Come By Tea. And it's like, it sort of gives it's sort of like a mix between like a brewery, like beer. There's like all the tea is in like big keg type things. And you pick which one you want. And then cool. They like steam it with like good water. And then like a guy mixes it as if it's a cocktail.
That's
and then
so
pours
cool.
it out with
I
the
would
little
definitely
cocktail
go there.
strainer. Yeah, Jaren's been dying to go, so we finally went today. And I'm drinking the Ceylon black tea.
Nice.
And what about your pampering? What are you doing to yourself?
I am doing a Garnier charcoal and black tea hydrating face mask sheet. It's just comes in a little single pouch and it says to leave it on for 15 minutes, but this is probably going to be a little bit longer than that, so we'll see what happens to my face. So like the charcoal will be drying, but because it's in a sheet mask, I'm hoping it's going to be, having a little bit of moisture in there. Oh yes, it says it's hydrating as well. What about you, Miriam? What are you doing with your me time today?
My me time? I've got my Sephora cooling mint on after drinking last night. I always feel quite flushed after drinking. So
is it like a serum or?
No, it's like it's almost like toothpaste and it smells minty. And you put it on your face and it cools it down.
Weird.
I think it's got like menthol in it or something. I don't have it in front of me, it's in the bathroom. We are going back to Dublin 1760.
Oh, way back.
Way back when. So I'm going to tell you today the story of Dorcas Kelly.
It sounds
Do you know Dorcas Kelly?
Vaguely familiar.
Were you going to say vaguely remembering?
I made up a new word. Vaguely familiar.
But I was thinking, right, so her nickname is Darkey. She was known as Darkey or Darkey Kelly. Because it was sort of like Dorcas and Kelly. But then I was like, but surely that means that it should be Dorky?
Yeah, instead of Darkey.
Yeah. Like so.
That's weird.
I'm not going to call her Dorky though.
Yeah, Dorky.
That's not nice.
Dorcas was like the more formal name then, and she preferred having the nickname Darkey then. Okay.
Maybe, I think so. Darkey Kelly ran a brothel in Dublin's Temple Bar area. Fittingly, it was called the Maiden's Tower.
Love it.
The Maiden Tower was located at the intersection of Copper Alley and Fish Amble Street, one of Dublin's oldest streets that appeared as a fish market, operated as a fish market. So you can imagine how great that smelled.
I was just thinking that. The smell of fish is just, oh.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, boys, let's go to the Maiden Tower.
Yeah.
The fish has got me in the mood.
Yeah, it's a bit,
Okay. Now, during the time of this story, Darkey was a retired sex worker. She was no longer hands-on, a joke I stole from the podcast I listened to about this,
oh my God.
called No Smoke Without Hellfire. She was no longer hands-on, but had earned her way into being a madam. Do you know what a madam is, Therese?
I'm not sure, is it quite on par with a gentleman? But it's a title then, is it?
No,
Or does it mean you own a
usually,
house, or what does it mean?
usually a madam, especially back then, is a female pimp.
Oh, it sounds so much fancier than that.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because like you call people as hello, madam.
Yeah.
I don't know when it changed to being nice.
I watched a movie recently, well, I didn't finish it, about a female pimp, and the movie was just called Pimp. It's on Sky. I couldn't finish it. I didn't really know what was going on. It was crazy. It was really, really crazy. Anyway.
Darkey was retired, that is, except for her reoccurring regular, the Sheriff of Dublin, Lord Simon Luttrell.
Oh.
Lord Simon Luttrell was universally disliked in Dublin. He was said to be corrupt, evil, drunkard, blackguard, bully, the lot.
Oh dear. And he's the sheriff?
And he's the sheriff with all the power.
They
he's
used
the
to call
Lord
it sheriff back then. That's funny.
What?
Like it's not, we don't say sheriff anymore.
Yeah, how come we don't have sheriffs anymore?
I don't know.
Wait, do we?
No, well, it's probably like chief of police or something, or maybe something higher than that. I don't even know what it's called down here, to be honest.
I know that they still use sheriff in America, don't they?
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. At one time, we seem to have had sheriffs.
Okay, bring it back. Bring it back.
Yeah. He was so universally disliked that there was a popular poem at the time.
Oh, I love it. This is like the olden day memes, you know? How do you spread hatred about someone?
Unfortunately, I don't have the poem. Oh.
You got me so excited there. Oh, I'm going to look it up later. Is it? Maybe it's hard to find.
The poem tells the story of how the devil was getting old and so looking for an heir to his throne. The devil goes down a list of suitable candidates of criminals and lords, mayors and corrupt men. But he finds virtue of some kind with every single one. That is until he gets to Simon Luttrell, a man so notoriously evil and selfish that he is chosen to be Satan's heir.
Wow.
Because he was part of like the Hellfire Club, which is like this mysterious, dark, secretive boys' gentleman club, I think.
So he's a bad boy.
Yeah.
So what about this Hellfire Club? That sounds very dodgy.
I looked into it. So apparently this Hellfire Club, it comes into this Darkey Kelly story a little bit. Lord Simon Luttrell was part of the Hellfire Club. And apparently it was this group of super privileged people with money, power and connections. And apparently they had very little else to do but get smashed and cause problems.
Okay. Not much has changed then, has it?
That was me last night out for Halloween.
Well, I'm not sure about the wealth and power and connections, but the drinking.
Yeah. They can be sort of described to be similar to the Freemasons.
Yes.
Like as in a secret society.
Yeah.
And they participated in gambling, drinks, drugs, orgies, torture, rape, and murder. They were blasphemous and offensive and liked to mock religion. They would go around Dublin setting fire to churches and houses. Now, they weren't just in Dublin. They were apparently all over Ireland and England. And I believe they started in England.
I might look more into that. I love all that kind of secret society stuff. Find it very interesting. I wonder if there's any kind of crazy tales. I'm sure it sounds like there will be.
Yeah.
We could do an episode.
I think so. Apparently there are actually archives in the Irish History Museum about them. So there's bound to be stories out there. So you can look into that.
Look into the archives.
Look into the
Sounds like a lot of effort.
You have a chance to go to Dublin and go into
Yeah.
the archives.
Let me in. It's not gonna happen. Should be online anyway. God damn it.
I wonder if it is online.
I feel like archive might.
Do they put archives online?
I don't. Well, some of them, but I don't know. Maybe not the old ones. I don't know if they've digitized them.
Now, although he was a married man, Simon Luttrell often went for Darkey's services.
Okay. With Darkey herself.
He was the only client that she was still working for.
Wow. So do you think maybe they liked each other? Or maybe he just paid really well?
Maybe he paid well, but I think there might have also been like this Hellfire Club thing. Like he's the sheriff.
Powerful.
Can he say no to a sheriff?
But he likes her if he's singling her out.
Yes, he definitely is into her. Mm-hmm. Maybe because she is the madam and nobody else.
The OG. Like she teaches them all the tricks. Like you go to the teacher.
Unless maybe he likes having her because nobody else can have her. Because she only
Yeah,
works for him
gets her
and it's
all
like
to
a power
himself.
thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think happens to Darkey?
Oh no, what did he do?
So eventually she gets pregnant.
No. Oh, for some reason I was picturing her as a bit of an older lady.
I know, me too, because she's a madam. Yeah, it gives you like
but I'd say she probably retired early.
Old was like 32 back then.
This is the thing. Yeah. So she could still get pregnant, and she did. And we know it's his because he's the only one that she actually sleeps with. Yep. So it's definitely his.
Yep. Okay. Oh, it's his.
So what did he do? Did he stand by her? Don't see that coming.
No, this is Me Time and Murder.
Yeah. And then lived happily ever after. A sheriff's wife.
She moved in with his wife and they had a throuple.
You probably couldn't even divorce back then.
I don't think so,
they're Catholics, no. Yeah. Okay, so he's in a real pickle.
Yeah. Because Simon is part of this notorious Hellfire Club, Darkey had to keep his illegitimate son a secret. Mm-hmm. Like she had the baby, it was a son, it was a boy.
Oh my god.
She had to keep it a secret because he was in this Hellfire Club and she was scared that like he would like scared of him and like what he might do or what the club might do.
Scared of like all these men in the club. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that's horrible.
But when he refused to support the child,
like financially,
yes, she threatened to expose him as an adulterer and all of his nasty brothel secrets and his hellfire debauchery.
Oh god, that's a lot of ammo. She's ballsy.
Adultery, brothel, hellfire.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm scared for her.
In response to this, Simon Luttrell convinced a few friends to testify that Darkey Kelly was a witch.
Oh, why? That's always the solution when they don't like what a woman is saying. She's a witch.
Yeah, she's a witch. Yeah. See her? She's too smart. She must have like sold her soul to the devil to be a witch. She's too smart. Simon Luttrell's friends, they testified that Darkey was a witch and that they had seen her sacrifice Luttrell's child in a black mass to Satan.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, very dramatic.
That's so ridiculous.
Not only that, but those who testified also swore that Darkey had killed the local shoemaker John Dowling.
Oh.
Now, I don't know where this comes from.
Yeah. Why would she do that? What?
I don't know.
Was John a visitor of the brothel?
I assume so. So apparently it's just like, she gets pregnant, she has the baby, Simon Luttrell will not support the baby, so he gets his friends to say she's a witch and murdered this random dude.
So he's obviously dead, and perhaps as a sheriff, he couldn't find a killer for this person, and then now it's like pinning on her. She's going down anyway.
Oh, I never thought about it that
way. Well, like, it just seems weird to just pin this murder. Like, it must have been connected with the brothel, the murder, do you think? Or he just frequented the brothel, so he's just connecting the dots and pinning it on her. People have been doing that forever.
So Darkey was immediately arrested and the Maiden Tower brothel was closed down. Her brothel that she ran,
just because she was arrested, it got shut down.
Yeah, I don't understand
why. Keep going. I'm sure she's got a number two.
Exactly.
Well, I suppose it had been exposed. by the
you're right. It probably
authorities,
was
even though
illegal.
they knew about it and were going to it.
You're
This
right.
is just
It's
another
probably
kind of like F you to Darkey, you know, we're taking you down and your business and all the girls that it supports. Awful.
Yeah.
All because you wouldn't support Lil Baby. If you think about that, like all those girls, like that's their business, and then like how much does it cost to feed a Lil Baby? Like could he not just throw her, you know, some money? Like dear God.
Especially in like 1760, I mean, all they needed was some bread and spuds.
This would have been like the bare basics, yeah.
Right? Oh, but he's a big important man, and he can't be at that now. He can't
needs
be
his money
cowering
to
and
go
bowing
and
down.
drink at the Hellfire Club. That's what he needs his money for.
The poor maidens at the Maiden Tower, they were kicked out and the building was boarded up.
Could you imagine someone boarding up your workplace?
Yeah, that'd be awful.
And they probably, like, I wonder, did they live there as well?
They probably did. I mean, like, if there was enough beds.
Yeah.
They probably would have lived there. Case. The story of Darkey Kelly being accused of a witch and murdering John Dowling was published in a Dublin tabloid, and the people were mental.
The public?
Loved it. Ate it up. Yeah, loved it. They were eating it up. Tabloid. Everybody was hysterical.
Suppose it's last scandal.
Yeah, scandal. At the time, people believed that women with any kind of power and ability to make money must have sold their souls to the devil.
Oh my God, what? Sorry, what?
Like, so I was thinking about this. Like, we think of witches as having like hocus pocus, like magical crimes, because like when we look at old things like the Salem witch trials and stuff like that, or you read about witches, it always says a woman with power.
Like supernatural power.
But we have interpreted it as that. Do you think that maybe...
I know what you mean.
That like back then they were being tried for being powerful. Yeah, because they like men didn't think that women were intelligent enough or like
well, it's kind
strong
of almost
enough.
Like outside their natural boundaries as such. They've seen it as unnatural for a woman to behave in this way, and she you know, she wouldn't be like this other than you know, there's some sort of intervention with the devil. You know, there's some evil play here. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the only way a woman can own a building or run a business is if she sells her soul to the devil. There's no way a woman is capable of it, and that is power. So I don't know, like I thought like how it's weird how we now think of power with witches and power as magical powers, but really was it more like, oh, that woman is successful? That is very suspicious.
Yeah. Well, like people were like, even you know the way like some musicians were said to have sold their soul to the devil. It's usually people that are like doing really well for themselves and have amazing talent that people are like, oh, that just can't be. And it's like, you're just jealous. You know, that's where all those stories come from. But like they took this really literal here with Darkey, which is just ridiculous. She did this on her own. Thank you very much.
Anyway, so on St. Patrick's Day 1760, although there was no evidence to account for the bodies of the shoemaker or for the supposed dead infant that she sacrificed in the Black Mass, Darkey was still found guilty and sentenced to be hanged and, half hanged and burned at the stake.
Oh yes, they used to do that, didn't they? They didn't fully hang, which is just so cruel.
Isn't it so gross? It's like they would strangle them, sort of. Oh,
so you're like nearly dead, and then did they burn her? You said kind of like a witch.
Burnt at the stake. Yeah. This type of death, in like a YouTube video I was watching, they were saying that these type of deaths, this half hanged strangle thing, was only kept to women. Yeah, but men would be completely hung or beheaded like instant, but women were usually strangled into submission and then burned.
Wow.
They had more torturous deaths.
That is so evil. Because what's the difference if you want to get rid of somebody? Why drag it out? Like, that's just evil. And they're accusing her of being entwined with the devil. And they're acting evil. It's just there's so much hypocrisy going on there.
Obviously, back then, there wasn't much to do, and public executions drew large crowds.
And on St. Patrick's Day, that
I
taste,
know.
guys. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like the
takes the
men
piss.
running this town, they are not doing things right. Don't ruin St. Patrick's Day. Don't kill Darkey, but also don't ruin St. Patrick's Day, please. Oh my god, this
It's
must
so
have been
true.
before we had the parades. Maybe this was like a big spectacle. I know people used to love it. It's absolutely disgusting. Well, some people do still watch executions, but the fact that it was like a public event, I find just so bizarre.
I know, like, it is so strange.
Isn't it?
But like you said, you actually can still, in
You
America,
can. It's a
still
little bit more
go and watch
private,
it.
and it's usually for the victims and whatnot.
I think
but
you have to apply. Yeah, you have to be
yeah,
like...
but like they used to have it in like the town square type of thing. That's what I imagine this setup was.
It was.
Yeah, it's awful. Isn't it weird that when you're walking through Dublin, people were like strangled and burned there? Like, that's weird.
So these executions, they drew large crowds. It was a form of entertainment. There was the newspapers often printed their last words, and vendors would sell food or products or things on theme. Yeah, isn't it weird?
So weird. I know. Well, if you think about it, back then there was even less to get entertained or stimulated by. So it was probably even more of a big deal back then if you think about it.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah. And now today, like, obviously they would only know of like crimes happening within Dublin, maybe outside of Dublin,
That's
maybe
true.
just Ireland, but we have access to
Yeah.
crimes all over the world and we still eat it up.
Yeah, so they were just waiting for that back then.
I bet they were like so excited.
Yeah. But Darkey though. Maybe it was one of these flipping hellfire men that maybe deserved it, but not Darkey. Well, or did she? Did she kill this shoemaker guy, or is this totally...
Well, we'll have to get to it,
Okay,
Tess.
okay.
On January the 7th, 1761, Darkey pleaded for her life at the gallows, proclaiming to be pregnant.
Oh!
Mm.
Okay, Darkey.
Well,
don't really
a couple of
believe you.
midwives were I know, how did you get pregnant if you were in jail the whole time? Like, that's... But so a couple of midwives went up, checked her out, and they were like, nah, she's not pregnant.
Oh, it was worth a shot, I guess.
I would do it too.
I would do it, but then I wouldn't think that they were going to check me on the spot. Like, they would take me away. That's brutal. Oh God, okay.
Outside Stephen's Green, a large mob cursed the supposed witch. Cursed her a witch, a whore, a succubus, an adulteress, and a murderer.
Oh wow.
The crowd gladly watched as Darkey was half hung, then taken down from the noose and burned at the stake.
Can't believe people watched that.
They loved it. They loved it. They hated her. She was everything that a woman is not meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
In a riot, the mob of spectators then carried her burnt corpse to the cemetery.
Ooh. Also, really gross. Is she not a bit hot? Is she not a bit... No, seriously. Oh my God.
Like steam
they
coming
waited
off
for her
her
to cool off like a... Oh my God. Okay, so they carried her. I'm sure it was a couple of men had to...
I'm not too sure.
Oh.
So gross.
Okay,
They took her to...
Okay.
They took her to the cemetery where she was refused admittance because she was a witch and a whore and an adulteress and a murderer and she never married.
So why were they bringing her there, idiots?
I don't know. It was a bit weird. I think they got confused. They were very excited. She was refused and they just sort of dumped her body outside. But in a protest, her former sex worker employees took Dorcas, carried her back to the Maiden's Tower.
Oh, this is so sad.
So sad. There, the sex workers, they broke down the doors.
Yes.
Broke down the doors and brought her inside so that they could wake and mourn her death.
Oh, could you imagine? And the state of the body at that point. Those poor girls had to like carry her in. That's so sad. Oh my God.
And that's like Irish tradition that you have to have a wake.
Yeah, like the men were just going to leave her outside the cemetery. Just what the heck would even happen her there?
They mourned her death despite the riots and protesting crowds of others outside.
Wow.
because they obviously loved her. Like, she gave them work.
Yeah, it was their boss. They were with her like every day.
Yeah, probably helped them out, gave them a bed, gave them pointers, gave them work, gave them money. So then the police broke into the abandoned brothel and arrested 13 of the sex workers for causing disorder.
Oh my god, they're literally just inside a broken down building with a dead body. Like, who are they annoying?
Officers then took Darkey's body and attempted to bury her under the gallows.
What?
But, like, you know where she was hung at Stephen's Green?
Yeah, but like it was that common?
But Dublin continued to protest and riot. They didn't want her body buried at the gallows.
Okay, well look, she has to go somewhere, guys. Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
Like, yous all sat there and watched while she burned, and not like you have to do something now. Like, this is your fault. You have to deal with it.
True. Her body was eventually taken and buried outside the town. I think they sort of did it on the sly.
Yeah, okay.
So a week or so later, they were clearing out Darkey's brothel in the Maiden's Tower, and locked away down in the basement was found the bodies of 5 murdered men.
No. Was one of them the shoemaker?
I don't know. I don't know.
Who the hell
Probably.
were they? Bad customers that didn't pay? I wonder what's the reason. Part of me is like, okay, maybe one man like got really out of line and was dangerous, but like 5?
5 is a lot.
5 is a lot.
One of the men was found to be a high-ranking official, like a lord or something like that, found out to be his son, who had been missing.
Oh, the Lord's son.
Well, not Simon Luttrell's son.
Yeah, just a lord.
A lord,
Okay.
like his son was there. They all thought he was missing.
How young are we talking? You don't know the age now?
I don't know the age.
Okay. Hopefully old enough to be in a brothel, but...
Hopefully, I thought you were going to say hopefully old enough to be murdered.
No, to be in a... It just makes me think, why was he there? Well, he must have been, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, what did he do to get out of line that they would... I really hope they weren't killing people to steal from them.
Oh God, that'd be bad.
Because 5 people, stealing from 5 people isn't really enough anyway, so it doesn't sound like that's what it was. Unless they were really rich people.
It could have been like they went too far. The boys like took the piss and the sex workers off them, or Darkey off them.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or it could have been that like they were so drunk and hammered and on drugs and stuff that they died.
Yeah, some older men might have a heart attack.
Yeah, or they might like suffocate or like drown in their own vomit.
But the thing is, like, they are obviously trying to keep the brothel on the hush-hush, so it's like you can't just call in a death like, oh yeah, you know. Yeah, I'd say it's probably a mixture of scenarios.
Dun dun dun. Was Darkey Kelly Ireland's first serial killer?
Oh my god, if she killed all 5 of them, even just a few of them, would make her the first.
And if she did murder the 5 men, perhaps she did also murder Simon Luttrell's illegitimate son.
I wouldn't go that far. But that's...
The son was never found.
You see that? I question whether the son really existed.
You can hide a baby's body. Like,
I know you can hide it very easy, but was Darkey really that? Would she really do that? It's by all means, it sounds like this was her only child.
Yes, it does sound like
that. But that's not to say that she wanted it either. That was, you know, that's a lot. And even lifting them down, like, okay, even if she murdered them all, she had an accomplice to lift them into the basement and bury them. She did not do that on her own.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say a few girls were in on it, if not all. Like, it was just a known thing that if someone got out of line, they were going downstairs.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or if they, like, died in their sleep or they overdosed or something.
Well, this is it. A lot of them would have been, you know, high as kites going in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure the alcohol and stuff was made of, like ethanol and stuff. Like,
yeah.
Dodgy potching, they'll just kill you.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, the Maiden Tower is now a bar in Temple Street called Darkey Kelly's.
Oh.
Isn't that so cute?
It's called Darkey. Well, it is Darkey Kelly's. It is hers.
Yeah.
Do people going in there know the story?
I don't know, but I think the next time we're in Dublin, we have to go to
Yeah, we
Darkey
should go. It would
Kelly's.
be a bit of an awkward one if, for tourists coming in. Oh, what's the story? Well, it's like, ooh, how much time do you have?
Well, there was a witch and a satanic ritual
And a dead
and 5
baby, 5
bodies.
dead men.
Yeah. 5 dead men.
1 baby, 5 dead men, 13 prostitutes. Yeah, it's quite a story. And whatever happened to Simon Luttrell, the bastard? I'd say his wife never had sex with him again. Sick of him.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to be like registered. I think he just continued to be a shitty sheriff. And for any of those people who are interested in spooky stuff and hauntings, it is thought that the ghost of Darkey and her infant son wander the area. She can be seen walking around Stephen's Green or in the pub. And if you do the ghost tour in Dublin, one of the stops will be Darkey Kelly's pub, and you can hear all the stories of her apparitions.
Oh, there's been stories of apparitions. That's cool. I had pictured the baby as a proper baby, but if it's haunting and wandering, that meant it could walk.
I know, like
I'm getting very literal, but like it's not like a baby ghost crawling around. That's not scary.
Crawling, yeah, shuffling or doing like the bum shuffle.
Yeah, there's lots of stages it could have been at. I didn't think it was walking, but perhaps.
Yeah, in my head it's not walking. But...
in my head it was a baby. Oh, that's kind of creepy.
So are you gonna? You said you were interested in the Hellfire Club. You gonna do that?
I think I will. See if I can flesh it out and dig in, see if there's a wee episode there for us.
Very fun. Okay, well, bye.
Okay. Oh, all right, I'm gonna end it.
Just bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, so yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Slán yeah.
Bye-bye.
Me Time and Murder would like to thank and acknowledge our sources that make this podcast possible. References can be found on our Instagram page.